Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Oakenfold, where we're going to try a run on Insane here. And I know I said I was probably going to do the blue mindset last time, but actually, we haven't tried survival since sort of figuring out the piece of the game and stuff a little bit. I want to see how this feels now that we know what we're up against. Again, no text or anything explaining the difference in the difficulties. No idea what we're doing to ourselves. Let's just get in here and find out, shall we? So enemies take 3 collision damage is pretty tough. Teleport 4 units is a little easier, especially since I can teleport myself for part of it, but in 2 waves, I think that's probably not getting done either. So starting me with 5 enemies feels like poor sportsmanship. That's my view of the situation. So we can certainly plaster one of them quite easily here. Most of them are in positions where does your attack push? It does, right? Yeah. So a grenade here. Well, no, never mind. I was going to say we can get this thing to push that thing, but it won't actually work because of the way they're arranged. And actually, it won't work in the other direction either if we move this guy to here, because the way they're arranged prevents them from affecting each other negatively. Actually, kind of a huge problem. Yeah, actually kind of a huge problem. We could just let these two... So this bonus objective, I think, is... Wow, first of all, the reward for that's really bad. But secondly, like... This is an interesting objective in a game like Into the Breach where you have a lot of options. But because your ability to move enemies around is so extremely limited in this game... Because everything you have only moves 1, and you have a very small number of opportunities to like apply that stuff, and you can't execute multiple different moves from multiple different positions easily, because you have to walk. You have to actually like traverse the space between those positions. This thing is going to be impossible almost all of the time, in a way that's just like not very interesting. Yeah, I don't know. This seems like starting me with 5 enemies up seems like maybe... I don't want to say it's completely impossible, but it's pretty impossible. So, okay, we could... Can I get it down to just 1 death? Or just one lost box? I guess is an interesting question. I think the answer is yes. So we throw a grenade here to push that tiny. Then we run up and we power glove. And then we can even just kill you. Figure I may as well. And then those 2 are just hitting the same crate, so... Pretty bad, though. Pretty bad to let enemies hit crates. How do I want to do this? Once again, if enemies are attacking a thing from the bottom left and bottom right, there's no way to rearrange them such that they attack each other because of the thing where their position on the grid determines their order instead of them each having an order. And it is definitely just a worse system for like kind of for no reason. We can just splatter the bombardier bug. Step to here. Sorry, step all the way to here. Well, actually, go back. Let's hook this guy. And then I can walk up here and we can do some damage. There we go, and I can even get a tiny amount of energy out of it. Alright, so we got ourselves a Robo-Packer. It looks like we are just always going to have 5 enemies at the first level, or at the first turn. That's really not okay. So if I throw the grenade... Okay, the Robo-Packer does get moved, which we actually really don't want to happen. So, if we step to here and punch this guy, we actually can have this tiny disable that tiny, which is helpful. How do we deal with this thing? I guess the answer is I want to move to like... this is pretty ugly, actually. I was going to say move to here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Never mind. I wouldn't be able to do it anyway. So that we could throw a grenade there. But yeah, that's not going to work. The way the enemies built themselves around me, it's actually super difficult for us to get yeah, it's super difficult for us to get any kind of effect on this thing at all. I don't really want to just watch another crate get destroyed. And I do feel like throwing the punch from this space is really valuable. Maybe we are just... that can't be right. It cannot be right to just watch another crate get blown up. Okay. If I were to... do this and then... The thing is, I really want to throw both of my grenades for this purpose, right? And that means that I can't spend more than 2 cycles doing other stuff because I won't have enough time left to throw 2 grenades from here. Well, but I could throw the grenade from here. So what I'm thinking is it'd be really nice if we could first punch this guy, then get back to here with enough time to throw a grenade, and unfortunately we just can't. It simply doesn't work that way. Wouldn't really want to do it that way anyway. Yeah, you we can hook. And I guess I just lose a crate. I think there's nothing I can do about this. We need tools desperately. Okay. Well... right. You attack multiple spaces. Does that remove the push? No. It's like a grenade here to move you into the correct column. Or into the... yeah. That's an improvement. Have to hook you... and then I think it's like pretty straightforward. Punch, step, hook. And then block the spawn. And this thing's dead before it gets a turn, so it doesn't matter what else is going on with it. And the Robopacker it's building that new crate just as fast as it knows how. That's kind of an awkward place for you to stand at the moment. I really wish you hadn't done that. Oh no, I really wish you hadn't done that, because, okay, it's very difficult to access this thing from here. I can punch through this rock. Yeah, I guess that's as good as it gets. Just bank some time. So we effectively didn't lose a crate this round, but I was really hoping to go up a crate. So collision damage, unlimited crafting is like 0 value. Yeah, let's go this way. These lost ones are pretty easy, pretty low risk. So there is for sure a pretty large amount of stuff that they are doing because it's the way that Into the Breach does it. But I think a lot of it's kind of ill-considered is strong, but like a lot of it is stuff where it doesn't quite... The differences between this and Into the Breach make the stuff not quite function. This is going to be a real problem. How are we going to affect most of these enemies? Does your attack push? It does. And enemies that spawn below things are generally very difficult to like interact with in terms of getting them to hit each other and stuff. It's very awkward. Yeah, I'm not sure what I want to do here. There's such a large number of attacks. And most of them aren't disableable with a single ability. Because of the way the enemies have positioned themselves, almost all of them have to be pushed twice. Or, pushed once, as in the case of this guy, but from an impossible angle. So yeah, I think we're probably already dead. I could use both of my grenades, clearing out several of them. Okay, we can kill the burrower with the hook, using the magic of pull damage. Although actually, I may want to throw my grenade first, so that there is at least an ability to get rid of this guy. Oh, actually, if I throw the grenade here to to remove him, it's actually just going to cause this guy to destroy a crate and then still be in position to damage that other crate. So that doesn't work at all. Yep. So we would lose a crate on this move, and then we'd still lose 2 more crates. And we can't like use this guy as a blocker because, first of all, even if turn order wasn't determined by whoever's closest to the top of the map, the push would still be lethal, but also this guy's just going to get out of the way first. Enemies have to spawn above you for you to be able to use them against each other, really. Okay. I think we're going to abandon this run. It does seem like this difficulty is just not... it wasn't really balanced for. And I think that's a perfectly fine thing to do. Make your second highest difficulty the one where you're like, yeah, this is the real thing. And then the difficulty above that can seem impossible to you, because we know that sometimes devs can be very surprised by the things the players are able to do in their spaces. Destroy the sandworm is usually worth a lot of energy if we can pull it off. I'm gonna head that way. So end on 1 health is worth effectively nothing. Wow, really? If the enemies completely block you in, the game just obliterates one of them? That doesn't seem like how that should work. Okay, so in order to be able to win here, I have to take a hit here. You guys do 1 damage, right? This is totally doable. Does that cost everything? Yeah. And it's not really worth very much. Like, it's worth 1 energy. I'd be better off. Can I do this in a way that gets me... I don't think so. I don't think I can actually get both of the energies. Well, if that's the case, I can gain 1 energy and bank 4 seconds. That's a much better deal. So, okay, this is 4 enemy spawns. I was about to say, is the difference between those difficulties actually 2 entire enemy spawns? Because that seems very silly. All right, that elite's a little bit of a problem. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. That might be right, but I didn't plan it, so. Robo Patrol doing terrible, terrible work. Going before the enemies, just like super non-viable. So I'm gonna splat you. We'll hook the bombardier. Push you out to there. Oh, I have to... Sorry, that's right. I can't throw grenades that short. But here we can grenade this. Step up to here to finish off this bombardier. And you're gonna actually execute your attack. Yeah, this should be fine. So... I guess I just do that and then run over to be in position to harm this thing. And fucking of course you did. Is there a better way to do this? Because obviously putting the thing on that space isn't actually helpful. I guess I'm just gonna have to kill it. Yeah, we'll just drop it. Try to grab some more energy. And this does feel like that balancing method, right? Where like difficult feels like it's a very designed difficulty, and some of the others feel insane feels like definitely just not functional. All right, Robo Patrol has positioned itself wisely. We are actually in really good position to start crafting already, which is nice. And yeah, this is like a pretty simple tool set. Very effective. We don't get any movement shenanigans with this character, or with this mindset rather. It's interesting that they don't leave they just don't leave energy behind in these missions. Lost you. I like the variety that is introduced by this this thing. It's just not I think 2 is maybe the wrong number of actions to limit you to, because it means you kind of never have anything interesting to do. All right, well, we're definitely getting a decent craft off here. Let's start by just running to the crafting bench. Implosive Hook, I think, is actually pretty good. Crate slipping to move crates around is not bad. Ooh. Barrier is compelling. Yeah, that would certainly give us... Oh, but we know how barriers work in this game, which is to say they only defend against 1 point of damage. They're way, way worse than they are in Into the Breach, so not actually very interesting. All right, so let's grab that and then figure this out. I didn't really think that was going to go that way. Yeah, of course, it pulls them in, but it pulls them in from the space where I thought it showed. Yeah, see, it shows here the pull happening on the pull 2 space. I guess if the thing dies in the initial space, then the pull just happens there, which is kind of a weird way to design that, I think. How am I going to deal with this? I think the answer is that I can't, right? Yeah, I think the best I can do on this is let that crate go, but make sure this guy dies afterward. Oh, right. The implosiveness. I'll just come over here and block a spawn. Let the sandworm approach slowly. And then we just get up on that big rock right there, like that scene in Tremors. Once again, the enemies are all in the most annoying positions possible. We want to let the sandworm come up. Wait, I thought it was gonna... Will it only come up if there's... Yeah, there has to be something on the space. That being the case, do I want to approach this a little bit differently? I could run into the corner. Yeah, let's try that. So we'll throw this punch here. Then we'll... How do I... Okay. I move back toward this area. No, that doesn't work. Yeah, I don't think I can get the sandworm moves slowly enough that I can't quite get it to come up underneath them. But I can just kill them both. Well, I don't think we're killing the sandworm. Okay, the alpha rammer just goes forever. So the alpha rammer has to, or the elite rammer, sorry, actually just has to be killed. And we don't have a lot of options for that. Yeah, we're not given a lot of tools for dealing with this rammer. We do not, at this point in the game, have a lot of tools for dealing with a rammer. So because it only has 1 health now, we can break it down like this. And then if I move to here and punch you and throw a grenade there. Okay, we can still get clear. And the sandworm has to move enough that we're not in danger. We're not going to get our sandworm killed, but... Yeah, I mean, it's an okay outcome, right? So if a unit steps onto the teleport pad, it fires, teleporting a thing that's already on the teleport pad, which is handy. I am going to teleport you. That was actually really cool. I didn't think about that at all. Okay, so I'm going to teleport myself over to where these things are. And then teleport myself again. Because that'll get us to 6 units already. Maybe I should pick up the energy instead. I'm going to pick up the energy instead. I did want to like put myself in a position where I could use the crafter, obviously. cannot do any damage to this thing, so we'll just bank and bank. I'm going to use the only attack I have that will get through armor. Okay, Zia 21. 1 damage to every enemy within its range. That's weird. I'm inclined to just take plus damage on the hook. This seems cool, but it's just like it's a once per run or once per mission, very small amount of very short range damage. It just doesn't seem all that useful. Unless it does something cool, in which case it really should have had the little GIF working. Yeah, alright, this'll do. I'm gonna step off of the teleporter, I think. Okay, no big deal. Alright, well, the good news is we can pop that crusher pretty easily. Alright, not too hard to get rid of them. Those two to wipe each other out. And then I actually can even still kill you. Grenade directly to the face. As the value of that kill was fairly low, given that we don't get to pick up the energy. But once again, we're looking real good on resources here. Okay, 12 and 12 plus all of the objectives. The difficulty difference between difficult and insane might be a little, the gap might be a little big. Keep Kala safe. There's a Lost down here. I probably want to do the Lost. This one has a Robopacker. We can go up to 13 crates. So they both have a Lost. What am I talking about? Yeah, let's try to go up to 13 crates. Or 13. 7. Why did I think I had 12? Okay, skitters. So throwing grenade doesn't do anything here because rubble doesn't move, which is annoying. Just use the hook to kill stuff straight up. They want me to drown enemies. That's not trivial to do. We can get one. We're going to have to hope a little bit on the others. Do I want to do this in a way that... No, I'm just going to take the hook. And then you just get moved up to here and we're good. I am going to destroy this. Alright, nice clean run to the teleporter, or to the crafter. Yep. +1 damage, always right. So is there a way to do this where I don't have to sacrifice my ability to drown this thing? Because like my concern is that's an awful lot of moves that I just spent, right? So if we run to here, then just hook you. I can't stop this thing from... Well, we don't have to get the drown right now. Wow, splitters already, huh? And nothing can just be like standing in a position where it would be easy to drown it. I guess you can. Yeah, I totally forgot about the energy heal. Everything that wants to be near the edge of the map is being very careful to do so in such a way that if I throw a grenade, I will kill a crate. God, you have to be so far away from enemies to throw grenades at them. Alright. This is not going to work. I'm just going to have to sacrifice my beautiful, beautiful 2 energy and get nothing in return. Yeah, fun, cool, great. They all get to pick up their energy. Alright, let's try to keep the Robopacker alive. Multiple burrowers definitely sucks. That's pretty funny, though. Whenever you become the target of its attack, it will perform a swap with you. I don't think that's too bad in this situation. Okay, first things first. Crafting station. Grenade passes its damage around. These are both great. I think I'm going to take the minimum range upgrade first. And we will hope that we can get the other one. But the minimum range upgrade is actually incredibly good. Actually, I think we have time to pick up the energy over here. There we go. That'll solve that problem. Perfect. We get to make the enemies do damage to each other so rarely in this game that it feels very satisfying every time it actually does work out. So we're not going to be able to get this going. Yeah, that seems like a fine outcome. So we are super, super safe on crates. Alright, here we get a Kala to supplement our battle against some relatively easy enemies. And it is the red Kala. I mean, obviously I want to step here twice. The thing about that is it's very easy to do. I forgot about how that was going to work out with the hook. It's fine. So Kala's got the same abilities I do. This feels like an okay time for a hook. Grab this, just come over here and splat you, and then hit the crafting station and get conductive for the grenade, which we will absolutely take. Yeah, I think I'm fine with this situation. So now it moves toward you, right? I think I'm totally okay with that. Pretty easy, and it turns out we really didn't even need Kala. Yeah, it's fair to get pretty low rewards on the Kala missions. They feel pretty easy. Okay, well this is annoying. Ugh, the density of them. Interesting that the splitter didn't actually split. Is there a way for me to get out of taking damage here? I guess not. I can make it so I only take damage once. Well, I can avoid taking damage by moving away from my crates. Yeah, I guess let's do it. And we're letting the enemies pick at each other a little bit. They're so eager to shoot at each other. The splitter finally gets a turn. Oh, I forgot that was going to pull you in. Shoot. I think I just want to... Oh, that's right. We can use a grenade to clear both of them. And then from here, it's a pretty open run. Okay. Gosh, y'all sure are numerous. I think I'm just gonna take one here. How dare you get in my way? I did it, I got one. Yeah, the fact that there's such a small number of enemies and the boss encounters are the same on every single run, and it's a little rough content-wise. I do like the dash. I am curious about this thing, but they keep offering us really good upgrades. Hard to imagine passing those up. So if I use the hook on you, okay, you will deal damage to the roach despite in theory, not being able to be pulled up on land. Oh, right. Sorry, it doesn't pull you in at all. In fact, it makes you go under the water, and then the roach gets sucked in because of the implosive. That makes sense. Well, we may as well get you to submerge again as well. And then... yeah, right? It's a shame I can't quite get the spawn block as well. Huh. So I can step to here. We can throw the grenade to pop this guy. But it's probably better I just prevent you from spawning anything. So punch you. Walk to here. And then I can step on one of these. Sadly, the Uber Roach gets to respawn. Precious little I can do. So this'll bash you against the wall and kill you. I suppose I ought to take it. Killing all 4 tentacles is a mighty tall order. Actually, this thing's going to be really hard to deal with. Well, I can just kill the roach like this. And then... can you be pushed? Yeah, okay. I'll bounce the thing off of myself. Don't love that, though, because it doesn't leave me with enough resources to stop these roaches from spawning. So now we're going to have 4 normal enemies up and 2 of the tentacles still. Pretty bad. You gave me that situation at least, though. That was nice. Okay. Somehow able to maintain. It is a powerful toolkit. It's very basic, but it's powerful. All right, do I want to try to blaze through to the end of the run here? You know what? I think let's not. I could probably do a whole run in one video now that we can play pretty quickly, but the fact that we had that false start at the beginning maybe makes that a little bit of a move. So that is going to be where we call it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you'll come back next time tomorrow, we're going to be trying to complete this run, and then you know what? Honestly, I might even do... there are a couple of items we haven't seen yet and stuff, things that we've not chosen on this run. We might even do one more run after this, just to see if we can't chalk up a win with each of the mindsets, maybe? I feel like that would display sufficient mastery of the game. I don't know. Come back next time, I suppose, to find out. And then, you know, also whether or not I can actually beat the Void Mother, because it probably shouldn't be a thing I'm taking for granted here. And we'll see you then.